Welcome back. You're listening to the Flow Friday Sports Show, and joining me now to talk all things KNT Netball is Sally Bywater. Sally, great to have you on the line. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
A bit to get through today. There's no netball coming up this weekend, but we had quite an action-packed last round in round 11. So we'll start at the Bordertown Netball Club, where on court one we had Bordertown A's taking on Mundalla 54-38 in favour of the home team. Sally, a big win for Bordertown.
Yeah, it was a great win here for the Bordertown girls. They're only two up at half time, so it was 23-21, but had a really strong defensive half in the second half and worked hard to stop Mundalla's goalies and create their turnovers into goals. So had a consistent 4 quarters to get a nice win.
Yeah, and it's an important win too because those clubs, as we'll note later on, situated very near one another on the A-grade table. So a big win there for the home side. We'll get on talking about Kyber-Bolite. They took on Pathway, 73-32 in the end. A thumping win for the A-grade Kyber-Bolite side.
Yeah, it was a fantastic win here by the Tiger girls. So they had a great win. Pathway a bit depleted. They only had 4 of their original A-grade players. So it was a 40-goal difference, but I think they all stood up and did what they had to do. So it's great to see lots of those girls get their first A-grade games with a bit of experience, but a great win here by Kyber.
Were Pathway expected to be a little bit more competitive, at least on the scoreboard, do you reckon, Sally?
Yeah, I would have thought so, but I think because they had those few players out, which would have made that bit of a difference. So I think great win here by Kyber. They did have a convincing win, but hopefully Pathway a bit more competitive next week.
Lucendale travelled over to Keith and they got the chocolates here, Sally. So tell us what went on in this game.
Yeah, so a great win here, 53 to Lucendale and Keith 37. So indoor stadium, a fast action-packed game, and Lucendale started strong to be up by 8 at quarter time. So their defensive line was working really well, playing lots of pressure over the court. So a great win here by Lucendale and Keith here back to the drawing board for next week.
Yeah, no doubt. And we also had Naracoorte travelling to Penola. A close-ish game here, Sally. Penola getting up in the end 56-47.
Yeah, the closest games around here. So Penola having a nice win. They've had a couple of losses, so they really want to get back on that winners board and really get fighting. So they had their team back. It was probably the first time in a few weeks that they've had their full side and all out there on the court, and a great game here by April Possingham in her 200th game, getting 28 from 29 in the second half, which is a great shooting accuracy.
No doubt about it. And we had a couple of buys too, Sally.
Yes, obviously Border Districts had the buy because Kingston don't have the A-grade team, so they'll be really, really ready to go in a couple of weeks when we're back on the court.
Now let's just take a look at how the ladder's shaping up here, Sally, as we head towards the business end of the KNT Netball competition.
Yeah, so we have Lucendale now, that one-game lead on the top of the ladder here. So they've had the 8 wins and 2 losses, so they're looking good at this time of the year. Then rounding out the 5, we have Border Districts and Keith on second and third, both with 7 wins. And, Keith just having that one less buy, so Borders have just snuck into second place. Kyber really... that win this week did them great. So they've now got 6 wins and 3 losses in the draw. So they're sitting nice and pretty in 4th. And Penola are just hanging on there in 5 and 5 and 5th spot. Rounding out, we've got now Bordertown has caught Naracoorte with their 4 wins and 5 losses. So, we thought at the start of the season that Bordertown might have been out and about, but they can get a few wins on the board and really get in that top 5 maybe by the end of the season. But a really close race still here for our season.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, Sally, tell us how you're going to be spending your weekend and how everyone else is going to be spending their weekend because there's no netball on to preview.
No, we've got a weekend off this week, so it's a zone football weekend over in Whyalla, I think it is. So the whole league has a bye. I know there's a few girls actually going off to play football this weekend, so we say good luck to them. But I think some people are resting up, having a few injuries. I know there's lots of people away on holidays in the warmer weather, so it's nice to have a weekend off.
Yeah, any social outings planned for the girls at all?
Not that I'm aware of. So I just think, I know there's a few trainings around the league that aren't happening tonight either. So I think, I'm sure people will get together, but I'm pretty sure we'll just have a nice free weekend and hopefully keep year of this COVID that's going around again.
Yeah, no, that certainly sounds quite like a necessary sort of plan. Why don't we take this opportunity, Sally, just to discuss how you see the season panning out in the senior A grade, because as we mentioned, there are no games to preview. So just give us your take on how you see the season sort of progressing from here on end.
Yeah, I really think it'll be a great second half. We've only got the 5 games to go, 5 rounds to go before finals. So I think anything can happen. We've obviously still got 7 clubs in the race to make finals. So I'm really looking forward to the second half. I think Lucerdale are the team to beat. They're sitting on top of the ladder, looking nice and pretty this time of the year. I think it'll be a really close race in the next up. I'm almost predicting the top 5 as is now might be what we see at the end of the season, but anything can happen, and those 4 teams that will miss out will make a bit of a difference, and score lines might help them to their advantage.
There we go. That's Sally Bywater unpacking the world of KNT Netball for us. Sally, great to have you join us on the Flow Friday Sports Show. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll speak to you when we preview the next round of action. So enjoy the weekend off, and speak to you soon. Thanks, Sally.
Sounds great. Thank you very much.